The X-Files was cool. You know, it's real, it's intelligent, and it's cool, and it's interesting, it's provocative, but it really is just exciting entertainment for legions of fans who, they work all day and they're like, work sucks, man. I just cannot wait to dip into the X-Files tonight.
I was on Melrose Place, and I would sit in my trailer and watch the show on Friday nights, and it was the highlight of my week. And I thought, God, how do I get on a good show like that? How do I get on that? Because it was so original and so good and unusual. I like the really funny ones.
Where I live in the Philippines, all we get is Baywatch.
What's wrong with Baywatch?
You've got a dirty mind.
Is that a hound I hear baying out in the moors?
No, actually, that was a left cheek snake.
They had to make me a whole new mouth. Do you think Blue Cross is going to pay for this?
Have you ever found a metal implant in your body? You checked everywhere? Scully, would you think less of me as a man if I told you I was kind of excited right now? Scully.
Mulder, what's wrong?
Oh, nothing's wrong. I'm just at that special place, and I wanted to share it with you.
Did you know that through the protective Chinese practice of Tiu Bushan, you can train your testicles to drop into your abdomen?
Oh, I'm doing that as we speak.
You'd be surprised how many women find my size intriguingly alluring.
And you'd be surprised how many men do as well.
We differentiate species by their genitalia. Oh my God.
Is it abnormal?
I'll say he's hung like a club-tailed dragonfly.
It's different, and it's really intelligent, and it's really, there's lots of strange secret pockets in it.
She wants the same red, like mine.
I'm in a boxcar, buried inside a quarry. There are bodies everywhere.
Bodies?
Stacked floor to ceiling.
What happened to them?
I don't know.
Bring it home. Come on, right here.
I'm hungry.
My sister, who's a huge, huge, huge fan, my sister, my brother-in-law, and I watched one that just totally blew me away. I mean, completely blew me away. It was about these kind of strange deliverance kind of brothers, and they had their mom under the floor, and it was just, I was just sitting there like, oh my God, this is so freaky, but I couldn't take my eyes off of it. And then I saw the one that they did on me, and I loved that. I thought that was great. I didn't want to do it when I first read it because I thought, oh, this is going to be cheesy. I wanted them to ask me to come on and act, but then they just wanted me to come on and sing. Had I known, you know, had I seen the quality of it, I would have done it in a heartbeat. But just reading it and then thinking, well, there's no part here for me. I kept looking for, you know, something, but then just to kind of come on and be myself, it wasn't anything I wanted to do until I saw it, and then I thought, oh shit, I should have done that.
The postmodern Prometheus, the black and white episode, was just wonderful, and contains my favorite moment of the entire 9 seasons, when the chick who's supposed to be Cher, who's performing at the end, is on stage, and then he stands up, and Scully's still sitting, and he goes like this, and you know, she takes his hand, they start dancing. Fantastic moment, totally not really in keeping with how you've seen those characters portrayed in most of the other episodes, but it was really just kind of wonderful celebratory moment. I'm glad they don't do it more, because then you wouldn't appreciate that moment as much as you did when it happened. When I met Duchovny, I told him like that we have these 2 Labrador retrievers that we named Scully and Mulder, and he was like, "Oh, that so bums me out." I was like, why? He was just like, oh God, I don't want to hear that. Just pretend you didn't tell me you got dogs named Scully and Mulder. But we got them, me and my wife, when she was a huge fan of the show as well.
Well, she's wearing my outfit.
How embarrassing.
There would always be people when I would say, like, I love that show, they're like, why don't you write one? I said, I can't. I'm not talented enough to write one of those episodes. Like, whether it be a mythology episode or whether it be just kind of a one-off that wasn't kind of, you know, a link in the mighty chain. They were incredibly well written, so much so that I was just totally intimidated by them. It was one of those programs and/or movies where you sit there going, like, I so love it and I could never do it myself, and that makes me love it even more.
Later, dude.
The thing that is so funny is just what a phenomenon it became, because when I got there, you know, I talked to David and they had just gotten their pickup, and my first impression of him was just that he smelled really bad, because he was filming this scene where he was running on a track, and they had him run and run and run and run and run for hours and hours, and all I thought was, oh man, this is going to be a hard show to shoot. I'm just going to be running the whole time. And inevitably I was. We did this scene where we're running from Mulder and Scully across this really uneven field, and we ran all night long. I stank pretty bad too by the end of it. I'm fascinated by sci-fi, so it was exciting to get to work on something like this that dealt with aliens and conspiracies and that sort of thing. I felt really separate from it. I never thought, ooh, I was part of this or responsible for it, or, you know, in any way connected, because I was in the first episode. I was just like a goofy stoner guy making Mulder and Scully laugh.
Fox Mulder, Tom Colton.
I was in the third episode ever called The Squeeze, and Doug Hutchinson actually played the guy who comes out of hiding every 30 years and can kind of break himself down and go through tiny vents. So I went up to Vancouver to do this third episode, and you know, I met Dave and Jillian and everybody, and and Chris Carter, and it was so cool because they had done 2 episodes, but they didn't know what they had on their hands yet.
Well, what kind of name is Mulder anyway? What is it, like Jewish?
Excuse me?
Jewish it is, right?
It's Mr. Mulder to you peanut-picking bastard.
I had to
Mr. Crump.
get some information from David, and he was supposed to write his information on a notepad or an envelope and hand it to me, and during the scene. And take after take, he would write one different line or another, all filthy, all pertaining to life on the inside if we were in the big house. And I can't even repeat it but each time it was a challenge to my acting experience not to crack up. It was a lot of fun.
Well, on behalf of the International Jewish Conspiracy, I just need to inform you that we're almost out of gas.
When I worked on the show, Rob Bowman was the director, and I was asking him some questions that became painfully obvious that I had never seen the show. And he looked at me like, you jerk off, you know, how could you come and do this show like in a fun way, you know? But I quickly went out and paid $8 to go see his movie, the X-Files movie, which I liked and which answered a lot of my questions.